Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I am Allincrypto, and today, as it is 1 p.m. UK time, we're going to be delivering another daily cryptocurrency market update. And this is going to be an interesting one. We're going to be talking about the assets that FTX hold and the possibility, or certainly the rumors, that they are going to be approved to be liquidated on the 13th of September. Now, this is likely going to be a staged approach, but we will dive into all that. How is this going to or not going to affect the cryptocurrency market? We're going to be talking about that in this video. And then we're going to be diving into a little bit of Bitcoin price analysis. We have said for the month of September, with the headwinds that you've got, i.e. a very strong dollar, the stock market having a bit of a rest, uncertainty on inflation, there's a lot of sort of headwind for Bitcoin, which is showing a real lack of anything. It's very low on historic volatility. There's not many people playing the game. Now, this is going to return certainly towards the end of the year. We've got October and November ahead of us. You've got this saying out there, Rectember. It's not really been that much of a Rectember so far. However, the mean for September is down 6% if you take it over the past 11 years. You would expect a drift to the downside. We're actually going to see as a more bullish scenario than potentially forming that head and shoulders and looking for that deeper B and C wave, or the deeper C wave, which could see you come down to the low 20s. So we will cover all that. Then we'll go over a little bit of news. Vitalik Buterin's X account hacked. Over 691,000 drained from victims' wallets. Crypto is brutal in regards to hacks, FTX, which we're going to talk about. I've got a friend of mine that recently just had a MetaMask hacked. It's just been horrific for many, I think. And is this part of any kind of tech revolution? Perhaps, but I'd say more so crypto. And then we'll look at some news. 1 in 4 investment firms assign its senior execs to digital assets, a report shows. And then we're going to look at the week ahead for you. As it is Sunday, rolling into a new week for the markets. We know that our market is affected by the broader market. So let's kick things off with the FTX news, the rumors. This is from the DeFi Investor. Now, I've got my take on this, and I will share it with you. Big selling pressure is potentially coming next week. I don't think that's accurate, and I'll get into why. FTX will likely get approval to liquidate its assets on September the 13th. FTX had 3.4 billion in crypto in April. So for Solana, for example, their largest holder, it's basically the price is where it was in April. The proposed plan is to sell assets worth up to 200 million per week. Now, how is this going to be done is the real question. And I've been making videos on Mt. Gox and Mt. Gox releasing their tokens for a long, long time. And it's always been this kind of big deemed sell event, and it never has turned out to actually be that. And not just Mt. Gox, there's been a lot of other kind of liquidations that often, in my experience, don't have much impact on the price. And actually, the price can do the opposite as a result of it. If you were going to get a big sell pressure, I think you'd have seen Bitcoin's price and the cryptocurrency market's price in general adjust significantly more than it has, because big players will be privy to information. They'd have put the shorts on, and you'd already see the sort of clues in the charts. You are not seeing that just yet. Okay, so this could be a factor. I can't see a source. I don't think this guy's actually linked a source to where he's got this from. But I do know that there definitely are plans for liquidations. This was an article from 2 weeks ago. FTX taps Galaxy to sell a stake and hedge its crypto billions. The bankrupt exchange wants to return funds to creditors in dollars without denting value. So they are going to be selling their crypto. It does look very likely. But how are they going to do this, right? So there's a number of ways that they can do this. The most unlikely way that they're going to do this is on an exchange and dump the price. Not because they care about the price, but also partly that as well. Because if they are looking to get out, they want the best price possible, and that's likely going to be an over-the-counter deal if you're talking hundreds of millions, billions, okay? Because if you start dumping in this market as it is, and critical thing, I'm reading a great book again by Ray Dalio. I've read it 3 or 4 times now. It's called Principles. It's a 500-plus page book, and for a dyslexic like me, that can be quite a task, but it is that worth reading. common sense and a little bit of critical thinking. Common sense isn't common, and critical thinking is something that most people just don't even bother doing. They'll see something and just react off it accordingly. There is a lot of nuances with FTX selling. How they do it, in my opinion, it's unlikely to be exchanges because they'll move the price against themselves and get a lower value for what they want. They also would be selling on exchanges that the US government, who has an insight into this, are going after in regards to Binance and even Coinbase that they're in a lawsuit with. There'll be some sort of over-the-counter deal to liquidate these funds. And the thing that really pisses me off about this is when they say return to creditors, investors will get their money before depositors, unfortunately. People they owe money to, they might have taken out a loan from someone or someone else, or who's the one that, Kevin O'Leary, for example, he'll get his money before you guys get his money, even though he's supposed to be a people's guy. This was from Invest Answers, big Solana dump. We checked FTX wallets, no movement, 10K tokens dumped and went no bid. Everyone's down the pub. Yeah, so this is the thing with crypto right now, generally, that we've been saying, which is why we said just expect downside. If you look at Solana, for example, I actually got stopped out on Solana. There was me bidding the lows. And of course, we got stopped here on this. Just a small trade. We're not trading. If it's any kind of leverage, it's very, very small beer. This is just an interesting trade that I took from down here. And obviously, we got stopped on it. But Solana spilt. You've just got, I think Solana actually could turn at some point and be a real ripper. I think there is still a community behind Solana, and they actually may do well eventually again. But this just spilt, and it's the same thing that happened with Bitcoin here. And really here and here to the upside and downside is that the orders just aren't there. The volume's not there. Have we got historic volatility on here? Yeah, this is something that we looked at and said, this is interesting. Volatility is at a low point. Look at the previous times it's been at this point. There's actually always gone up at this point. But then, it's very hard for me on the short term to say it's going to go this way, it's going to go this way. Easiest thing for me to do is just watch the levels, okay? And say, look, this is your first point of call. You lose this, you've completely invalidated market structure. You could watch out for this head and shoulders. Where are you bullish again? Well, you get back above, and I would say you hold above this level, and then certainly you take out this one, you're away. Just chop it up, play by the levels, look at other markets like the dollar to help you work out where it's going. Dollar's been exceedingly strong. It is running into resistance. However, this is always the thing with markets. When they go, and they really turn the pain on. So for risk, this is likely could do something like this and then pop up before it has a bit of a prolonged rest, which could see you end September into October, when we think there's likely going to be a market turnaround and things are going to get moving again. We've been looking at stock markets. We've actually been dipping our hands into stocks, even though we're a crypto predominant channel, because I think there is a real opportunity with stocks. I think stocks are going to do exceptionally well. You aren't going to get this crash until later on. Could be 2020, end of 2024, start 2024, something like that. And we've done a lot of looking into that, and we'll maybe do a whole video on crashes and why we don't think they're quite likely at this point in time. So stay tuned for this. We'll keep you up to date. It's going to be interesting. You can see they have a lot of Solana, a lot of FTT token. That's worthless. Bitcoin, Ethereum. So there's going to be a lot of altcoins that don't get affected by this. The main one to watch, of course, is Solana. I could personally see a big investor coming in and stepping in and just buying all that, or a consortium of them. But we will see. Vitalik Buterin, X account hacked, over 691,000 drained from victims' wallets. 1 in 4 crypto investment firms assign senior executives to digital asset report. 1 1/4 asset managers and hedge funds in the US and Europe have recruited senior executives to oversee digital asset strategies, according to recent report. Everything's going crypto, guys. All asset managers are going to hold crypto eventually. We are yet to even see that be a thing, okay? And you're talking trillions that come with that. Looking forward to the week ahead, because we'll try and keep this video short and sweet as it's Sunday. Lots of you got your Sunday dinners, not us. We are doing a carnivore diet, which we'll do a review of on day 31. I've got to say, very impressed with it so far. Very against the kind of narrative that's out there on nutrition, but hey ho. Monday, you've got nothing. Tuesday, you've got probably UK employment data is the big one. Then Wednesday is going to be the massive one. You've got UK gross domestic product GDP growth to be 0.3% month over month, and 2% for the 3 months of July. Okay, it's a bit of a mixed bag. The big one's US CPI. This is expected to ride. This is headwind. You know, we're looking at oils. You've also got WTI, US crude oil inventories, which are at a low at a point where oil has looked like it's broken out. So Wednesday is going to be a big day for us. Then Thursday, you're going straight into an ECB rate decision. They're expected to hold. Most central banks are holding at this point, other than the Fed, but the expectations are they're going to hold in the next meeting. We'll see how this affects markets. We've done a lot of looking at rates and things like that. And then, of course, you've got US PPIs. That's going to be another interesting one. And then Friday, you've got China industrial production and US Michigan consumer. So actually, it's going to be a interesting week. Going to be lots of moves for the markets. My optimal scenario for Bitcoin is that it just dribbles off like this and then sets up. And you keep getting these wicks getting bought. You know, you keep seeing big wicks like this to the downside. That's what I want. Okay, I don't think this is enough of a right shoulder to look for this target down here. And again, you know, we've looked at Elliott Wave, and you could just be doing, this could be your A, your B, you know, into like a dribbly C, and then you go again. We'll see. A dribbly C. On that note, I'm going to leave you. If you enjoyed the content, a like is always greatly appreciated. So is a comment, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next.